It's really good. I'm enjoying it. I feel I'm starting to make things happen. I'm meeting more people. I'm making more connections. And overall, yeah, I'm pleased. Every morning, every afternoon, every evening, there's going to be something happening. And I love it. It's so rewarding, so frustrating, but it's incredibly like it was in school. Every day's different, but all the time trying to make people's lives better, which is good. I think it's really positive. Um, Aubrey is really a solid place. It's lots of things going on. It's a really strong community. Malou is changing the repression in terms of housing, but Clark Vane is close to completion. People are moving in. Really good, feel interesting houses. And Castletown has really changed tremendously. The square is now receiving positive feedback. Lots of new businesses. Yeah, real enthusiasm and energy. I think one of the major changes is sorting out what to do with the square. Once it was completed, it didn't quite work, and the commissioners put a lot of work and time into sorting out the best mix of car usage and leisure usage. And over TT, it worked phenomenally well. People came down, it was really popular. People could do a range of things in the square and the surrounding area. And also, the markets have become really attractive. It's happening every month. People know when it's happening. A range of products, locally produced items, food, um, various trinkets, things that people want, and yeah, it's interesting. One of the first and key aims was making sure the government doesn't waste money. We all pay taxes, we all have high expectations, and through the past 3 years, I've been kind of focused on that, my questions, working the departments, and that's kind of still key. But other things like ensuring that people get listened to, that producers are being encouraged, and that's the thing that makes the economy work. And I feel that kind of 2 years into the parliament, heading towards the third year, those things are starting to be seen as positive. Given Brexit and the clouds that are happening across, we're in a strong position. It's a small, dynamic economy. Um, Departments like Enterprise are really going out and encouraging people to move to the island. There's a youthfulness and eagerness to do well. Yeah, it's really positive at the moment. The biggest one is the one I wasn't expecting. That's the constituency work. When I stood for election and I wrote the manifesto and everything, it wasn't something I really considered. I thought, I'd go up to Douglas and make decisions and all that sort of thing. But day to day, I would say that every day I'm getting an email, a phone call from constituents who's saying, "Can you help me with this issue?" And that is tremendously rewarding. Even if you can't get the ideal solution, you're actually contributing, trying to make a change, and you're raising awareness of certain issues. And I'm often spoken to about questions I've asked. I would say that half the questions I ask come from constituent related issues and ideas that have been suggested by the constituents. So that's probably one of the areas I'm most proud of, and yeah, areas that I was not really expecting. Some individuals are incredibly proactive. They use the freedom of information requests. They talk to their MHKs. They get onto local radio stations, into the paper, and they make the system work for them. But a lot of people are still frustrated. And I'm surprised by how many constituents will say, "Oh, you won't be able to help me." And there's that expectation that the system's loaded against them. And hopefully, people realise that when it's a democracy, they're a key part of it. In terms of my two department roles, I would like to see health come in on budget, if not very close to budget. The first year there, we were about 12 million over budget. Second year, it was about 8.2 million. Last year, under 4 million. So this year, hopefully, we can be on budget. Last year, it wasn't until really mid January that it became unobtainable, and hopefully this year that can be done. And in public transport, I'd like to see us perhaps be able to test an electric bus. It's one thing we're actively looking at, and it's one thing people want to see. So those two key areas.